Hey everyone, it's Rain. Welcome to today's video. Before I get started, if you haven't checked out our Discord server, jump on that. Everyone you've seen me play with over the past few months, even years, are on it. There's a ton of channels, both voice and text, and they're all set up to help you find games to play, people to play with, and talk to along the way. We truly have an amazing community built here, and I'm excited for you to be a part of it. Link is in the description, so check that out. Welcome back to September's free-to-play coverage. This week we're covering the MOBA. MOBAs dominate the esports scene, League, Dota, there's just so many out there. You may wonder why I didn't cover League or Dota here, they're both free-to-play and insanely popular. I didn't cover League because I can't stand toxic games, and I didn't cover Dota because I'm about 12 hours into learning what essentially demands 1200 to become competent, where things like last hitting, elevation, and more are critically important to learn before ever stepping into battle. There are also about a million other videos that talk about why these games are so popular, so I wanted to take a different look at the genre and touch on some other really popular games that get far less attention. The 3 games we're looking at this week turned into 4 as I was shown a new one that I'm fascinated by. The games we're diving into this week are Heroes of the Storm, Smite, Master X Master, and Gigantic. Each offer a different take on the standard MOBA rules. Heroes is a simple brawler-style MOBA that encourages counter-picking and character mastery. Smite is a traditional MOBA that's run entirely in third person. Gigantic is a very special one with charming heroes and a unique art style. MXN adds the ultimate ability with the choice of your second master. All are free to play, with Smite and Gigantic available on Steam, Heroes available through the Blizzard app, and MXM through its own launcher. Let's take a better look at each one. Smite is an incredibly unique MOBA that established Hi-Rez as a developer. They brought the various mythological pantheons into the MOBA genre in third-person combat. Items are pretty straightforward. Training missions get you established, and there are never-ending login rewards. Purchasing new gods is actually extremely doable, making paying for the full pack of gods, or full game if you want to look at it that way, reasonable at either $30 US, or just play a handful of matches and pick up one of the 81 gods available currently. Don't know who you want next? Rent them for a very small fee and see if they're for you. Rentals last more than one match, so you have plenty of time to evaluate them. First off, you'll be playing the tutorial, which gives you plenty of time and practice to get used to the game and its mechanics. Third person is a very nice change to the top-down MOBAs we are used to. Gameplay is very satisfying, especially when you're able to chain abilities with allies and take down an enemy player. There's something special about being able to have a front seat view of the whole match. I've really enjoyed my time in Smite and look forward to many hours more in the future. Gods all seem pretty balanced, with a few exceptions. There are a handful of different modes, so you're not just stuck in the same thing over and over. Advancement is handled easily in matches with auto skill, and you can turn that off to min-max your god once you're comfortable playing with them. There are just so many to choose from that you can easily spend a few hundred hours in the game getting used to how it all plays. I haven't really seen any drawbacks to the game. The free rotations of gods always present a few really interesting choices. Purchases for gods are affordable, and you can put together a very decent roster in just a few days of consistent play. Daily login rewards help this as well. In conclusion, Smite is a unique version of the MOBA that Hi-Rez has done exceptionally well with. You can pick this one up on Steam and give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. MXM is the most interesting, different version of a MOBA that I've seen. I don't even know that I would call it a MOBA. You start in what becomes a series of PvE story missions. I won't spoil it because it's actually somewhat cool. Pretty cliche story and some standard anime tropes await here, but it's definitely interesting. There's also a PvP mode where you play either 3v3 or 5v5 in an arena. Pretty lacking in my opinion, since you essentially play the MOBA for the PvP experience, and this seems to only have a small fraction of that compared to other games. You begin by choosing one master and then a second. You basically have a tag team of your own, so does each other player. You can swap between them freely, and each has an ultimate ability. What to do first is grind through the PvE missions until you feel comfortable enough to try the PvP. Menus, items, hell, the entire UI is a mess, but the game is actually pretty fun. I won't be sticking around, but it's nice to see something different. Gameplay is pretty basic for a MOBA. Use your abilities and move around the map. Balance seems fine. None of the characters I played actually have an ability that seemed broken when brought against another player. It just wasn't impressive. Advancement is done by completing missions in PvE so that you can take that into the store to buy new items, masters, or a membership to help you grind faster. I can see this is pay to win, so we're going to stop here. The more you spend in cash and memberships month to month, the faster you can acquire the whole roster and items that go along with them. I'm actually disappointed. I thought there would be a lot more PvP, and the whole Masters idea was interesting to me. On the whole, the game seems fun. The problem is it honestly feels to me like a mobile game, something you'd play on your phone instead of a well-rounded PC MOBA. Personally, I'm going to pass on this one. Heroes of the Storm is what I like to call the alternative MOBA, for those that enjoy the MOBA style without all the toxicity of League, the last-hitting billion-hour investment of Dota, and the classic top-down style of the genre. Blizzard calls themselves the Hero Factory, and they're definitely not wrong. Over the past 20 years, they've created some exceptionally well-known heroes. Heroes of the Storm creates a place, the Nexus, that the Blizzard universe revolves around, and characters from all of their properties appear here. From all reaches of their universe, Warcraft heroes like Jaina, Valera, Ragnaros, Varian, and Thrall. StarCraft heroes like Nova, Kerrigan, and obviously Raynor. Diablo heroes like Tyrael, Johanna, Oriel, and of course Diablo. Overwatch heroes Tracer, Zarya, Lucio, and Genji. There's something here for everyone. If you haven't given this one a shot in the past, you're missing out. Blizzard just performed a floor-to-ceiling renovation of this game, making heroes less expensive, rewards more consistent, and leveling actually rewarding. They still release weekly brawls that are interesting and new maps that make the game feel different every time you play. First off, just spend some time getting to know the heroes, as it's really that simple. Without item management or complex mechanics, you can just enjoy the hero combat, which is a nice change of pace. Every level you gain, character and individual hero nets you a pool of rewards. Loot boxes were probably the best addition to the game to make people feel like they're making progress no matter how much time they put in. Gameplay is typical of a MOBA and feels just fine. Character balance is very well handled, so much so that after half a dozen matches, you just wish that Blizzard would apply this balance team's abilities across their other games. Advancement is very well handled as previously described, and you definitely feel rewarded for the time you put in here. Nothing really to take away from the game, it's a very fun game to play, and the more time you spend in it, the more you feel you get out of it. Hero prices are a bit steep if I had to choose anything to detract. In conclusion, this game feels great to play, rewarding to invest in, and watching Genji fighting Ragnaros, fighting Diablo, fighting Kerrigan is just one of the coolest things that Blizzard has ever done. As a last minute entry to this video comes Gigantic. Gigantic is easily the winner of Most Adorable Game of the Year by far. Just look at this game. It has a unique art style, insanely fun gameplay, and is a second third-person entry into the genre. I saw this game and was instantly obsessed. Gigantic throws a wrench into the MOBA archetype, 5v5 PvP combat where you build and evolve creatures that act as your towers essentially, and your core / base / fountain is actually a gigantic creature called Guardian that defends your house or team. First team to build enough, kill enough, and damage enough to generate 100 power has their Guardian attack the enemy Guardian. This adds an entire new layer to the MOBA that is just insanely fun to play and to watch. Gameplay is snappy, very simple, and ability-based like other MOBA games. Advancement is slow, but you can grind out enough gems or crowns in a reasonable amount of time with some investment, just like any other free-to-play game. What you're doing first is a lengthy, but well-done tutorial that walks you through how a MOBA works, and this game's unique take on it simultaneously. Heroes seem very balanced, a nice change to some other games out there, and each hero feels dynamic and different. You level your skills just like any other MOBA, but without the item store. Thank you, Gigantic, for making this an easy game to pick up and want to play. Several different categories for heroes to choose from. I'm very partial to Trip. That girl is my jam. I can also see potential in more adorable characters. The winner of this category is easily Paco. I mean, come on, look at this guy. He's so freaking adorable. The only drawback I can see to this game is that I don't have every hero yet, and that bothers me on a deeply personal level because I just love so many of them and I want to try them all. My conclusion here is that the art style in this game is ridiculously cool, the heroes are unique and fun, and everyone should play this game to enjoy something very special. Do yourself a favor and play this game now. Well everyone, that's going to do it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this entry in Free-to-Play September. We have one more week. Card games are up last and we'll be covering the massively popular Hearthstone and Gwent. Stay tuned for some extra exciting content coming in October. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through?